let's talk about this Johnny Cage casting. What's up, guys? My name is unCAGEDgamez. Welcome back, back to another Mortal Kombat video. Today, we're going to be talking about the big news that came out. The topic that all you guys have been tweeting at me like crazy and want to know my thoughts about. And that is the casting of Johnny Cage for the Mortal Kombat live action sequel that's happening. I was actually going to see Guardians of the Galaxy yesterday when this news came out. I was in my seat, ready to watch the movie, and my phone kept going off like crazy because everyone, the mothers, were tweeting me, messaging me, saying, yo, did you see this casting? What's your thoughts? Oh my god, this is crazy. If you don't know what we're talking about, Todd Gardner's tweet here. Todd is the producer of the Mortal Kombat movie. He tweeted out there saying 2, and he's taking a picture with Chin Han and Joe Taslim, who plays Shang Tsung and Sub-Zero. So if you guys don't know, the Mortal Kombat live action sequel will start filming in June, so very soon. Obviously, you can't film a movie without your whole cast. So the casting announcement of Johnny Cage, is supposed to happen pretty soon, and it looks like they found their guy. And that guy is Karl Urban. That's right. Billy Butcher from The Boys is looking like he's gonna be playing Johnny Cage. I thought my eyes was playing tricks on me when I was in theaters. I pulled out my phone sneakily, right? Because I don't want to like flash everywhere when everyone's enjoying the movie. I pulled out my phone a little bit, and I'm like, what the? Sick! I love Karl. Karl is awesome in The Boys. He's a great actor. He's the man. Johnny Cage is the man. It just works. So this is my first initial reaction. Please let this be true. I have my thoughts and concerns about this casting, all right? I'm going to give you guys the good and the bad. I'm going to play devil's advocate, all right? Johnny Cage is my boy. He is my favorite character of all times. I was so sad that he was not in the first one, but I'm glad he's in this one. So I did tweet this out saying, please let this be true. Todd, the producer of MK movie, replied saying, true. Todd, still waiting for the email for me to be a cameo. Hit me up. I'm available all the time. Just let me know. When Todd replied saying true, I feel like this is almost 99% happening that Karl is going to play Johnny Cage. I've already read a lot of you guys' messages as well, and we're going to talk about the giant elephant in the room here, okay? First thing, I know a lot of people are saying, Karl as Johnny Cage, what? This should have been The Miz. The Miz, he should have been Johnny Cage, and The Miz is Johnny Cage and W. Okay, listen, I might get a little flack for this, but I never really thought The Miz was that great of an actor. I know he plays Johnny Cage S-type character in WWE. Like, he's supposed to be like the it star. He's like the guy, the Hollywood guy in WWE. He plays a Johnny Cage character. I see that. Okay, I watch WWE. I watch wrestling. I just don't see The Miz playing Johnny Cage. I just see him playing someone pretending to be Johnny Cage. Does that make sense? It's hard to explain. I just was never a fan of the casting of The Miz being Johnny Cage. Also, maybe it's because I watched WWE so much growing up, and I never liked The Miz. I always, he was a heel. I never liked him. I thought he was lame. I'm sure he's a great guy, but growing up, hating The Miz as a wrestler, I don't want The Miz to play one of my favorite characters. That's just me. That's just my opinion, okay? So I was never on the bandwagon of let's make The Miz Johnny Cage. That rumor of Cody Rhodes possibly playing Johnny Cage, I was more on board on that casting than The Miz, okay? Again, no hate to The Miz. So there's my stance on that casting. Do I think Karl should play Johnny? I'll tell you this, Karl was not my first pick to play Johnny. Karl was actually not even on my list at all. Another thing that a lot of people are saying is, oh, Karl should have played Kano. He should not play Johnny Cage. He should just play Kano. I would 100% agree with you. That was the fan casting for Kano. That was the casting that everyone wanted. Karl Urban as Kano would have been amazing. But Josh Lawson's Kano, after watching the first Mortal Kombat live action 2021, Josh kills it as Kano. Love the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie or hate the movie, we can all agree one thing. Or actually two things. Sub-Zero and Kano were amazing characters in that movie. They were awesome. I'm on Team Josh now as Kano. He's fantastic, and I hope he comes back. I think they will bring him back. I mean, why not? He's amazing. There are also people saying that, oh, they should do a Mortal Kombat multiverse and bring Karl in as a different universe Kano. This is the second movie for Mortal Kombat. I feel like we should not go multiverse jumping just yet. Another complaint that I'm seeing a lot of people saying is the martial arts. They should have casted someone that knows martial arts to be Johnny Cage. He's an action star. He should do, you know, the action scenes. That one, I will agree with you guys on that. I think someone that had a martial arts background should have been casted as Johnny Cage, because then the fight scenes could have been even better. I'm sure the fight scenes are still going to be great, but if they got someone that actually had history with fighting and all that, it could have been, you know, elevated the character even more. But if we go with the complaint that it should have been a martial arts person that plays Johnny Cage, that kind of counteracts the majority of people wanting The Miz to play Johnny Cage, because The Miz doesn't know any martial arts. He's a wrestler. That's not the same as martial artists. All right, that's two completely different things. And I can already hear some of you guys typing, but wrestling is fighting, so that's still kind of martial art. No, you're stretching. If we do it that way, Karl has played a lot of characters in action movies. I mean, he's Billy Butcher in The Boys, and there's a lot of fight scenes in there, and they look fantastic. So I can see Karl killing it in the fight scenes as Johnny Cage. And also, we have seen Karl act. We know he's an amazing actor. The Miz, you know what he's been in? You know what The Miz has been in? This is what Miz's IMDb looks like. It's just a bunch of wrestling stuff. Side hustles. TV series. Never even heard of it. One episode. What else has he been in? The Marine 6. Raise your hand. Where are my Marine 6 fans at, huh? So I'm just gonna say it. I don't think The Miz's acting chops are equal or even near Karl Urban's acting chops. There is this little article here that talks about Karl Urban in final talks. Let's read it really quick. Karl Urban in final talks to play Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2 at New Line. Karl Urban is in final talks to star as fan favorite character Johnny Cage in the sequel to New Line's hit 2021 action adventure Mortal Kombat, based on the blockbuster video game franchise. Sam McCoy, who directed the 2021 film, is set to return. Jamie Slater, Moon Knight, The Umbrella Academy, wrote the screenplay for the sequel, which I like Moon Knight and I like Umbrella Academy, so that's pretty sweet. The previous films was new adaptation of the popular video game franchise that offers a grittier, more violent take on the material than the 1990s film. It was released in April 2021 in theaters and on HBO Max, and was an early pandemic hit for distributor Warner Brothers, ranking as one of the top featured titles on HBO Max since the streaming service debuted. I think Mortal Kombat's still like the most viewed item on HBO Max, which is awesome. They are killing it, all right? The MK community holding it down. So with this article, and also Todd replying to my tweet saying, please let this be true, and he says it's true that Karl is in final talks to play Johnny Cage. Also, Todd retweeted Boss Logic's fan art of Karl as Johnny Cage. I think it's pretty safe to assume that we got our Johnny Cage for the sequel of Mortal Kombat movie. One of the biggest things that I thought of after the 24-hour period, like I waited a day to gather my thoughts. The big thing here that I'm a little concerned about is the age. Karl is 50 years old. That's one of the older actors for the cast of Mortal Kombat. If you look at the cast, Jessica, who plays Sonya, and Sonya and Johnny in the games have a relationship. Jessica is like, what, 34 years old? So there is a pretty big age gap there. Now, I'm not going to let this age of Karl being 50 be like, oh, this movie's doomed. Johnny Cage is doomed. You know, they casted someone too old to play Johnny Cage. I think they could have casted a younger actor to play Johnny Cage for sure. But then again, they casted Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, and the man's 62 years old. So he's 62 and he's kicking butt. I'm sure Karl can still kick butt. 50 years old, a little bit older of a casting than I would have liked, but I still think it'll be okay. Someone that I've actually been more of a fan of to play Johnny Cage is Glenn Powell. He was in Top Gun Maverick, and I mean, just look at the man. I could see him playing a pretty awesome Johnny Cage. And he's a young guy, so he could be in the the series for a while. So that's just my little fan casting there that I would have liked. I mean, obviously the Ryan Reynolds has always been one of my favorites to be Johnny Cage, Chris Evans, but like Glenn has definitely like shot up on my fan casting. So I have 3 theories for this casting of Carl as Johnny Cage. They got Carl, an older actor, to play Johnny Cage because this version of Johnny Cage is a older, washed up movie actor that hasn't had a good hit movie in a while. This Johnny Cage has, you know, it's in the dumps. He's in the dumps, and his movies have been tanking in the box office. So for him to help Cole Young, join Cole Young and the Earthrealm Heroes to fight and save the world will help him project his job career back in the limelight, back in show stardom, and get back the Johnny Cage name in Hollywood. Now, this theory is a little bit more far-fetched, but I want to throw it out there just, you know, spew my thoughts here. Karl Urban plays Johnny Cage Sr. in the Mortal Kombat sequel, and he gets killed off either at the beginning of the movie or at the end of the movie, and then we see his son, a much younger Johnny Cage Jr., take up the mantle and avenge his father. The son's name is John Carlton, which is Johnny Cage's real name. Not, if you guys didn't know, Johnny Cage is actually not Johnny Cage's real name. It's John Carlton. So his son could be John Carlton, sees that his dad gets killed and wants to avenge and you know, kind of pick up the mantle of Johnny Cage, so he takes on the name Johnny Cage. That theory, again, a little more far-fetched. If Carl's Johnny Cage dies, we can get Glenn Powell as Johnny Cage Jr., even though they don't look alike at all. But movie magic, we'll make something happen. I don't know. And then finally, my third theory of what I can see Carl's Johnny Cage being in the movie and how it could work is Johnny Cage's Arcana. Yeah, we forgot about that, right? The Arcana getting introduced in the first movie was very mixed. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it makes sense, kind of. This is what I'm thinking here. Johnny Cage's Arcana in Mortal Kombat 2 could be him having the green glow. But a nice little twist is Johnny Cage's Arcana, maybe we can see the green glow, maybe we can't, makes Carl's Johnny Cage, when he uses the Arcana, makes him younger and more agile. So that's why he's able to do his stunts and do his own moves in the Johnny Cage's movies. And people are like, oh my God, how is this old actor pulling off these crazy stunts and fight scenes? It's because older Johnny Cage has that power to make him younger, more agile with the Arcana. I could see that happening, and also it would make sense because then Carl, 50 years old, doesn't need to do too much fight scenes. You know, obviously he can still do the normal couple fights here and there, but then the more complex fights, he can use the green glow, and then special effects, green glow, another actor to take his place, a younger actor, and then they can do the crazy fight scenes. That could be a interesting workaround for his age. Obviously, like Hiroyuki Sanada, when he fights a scorpion, he has a mask on, so you can, you know, switch, you know, stuntman, so they can do the fights. That could be an interesting way to pull off Carl as Johnny Cage and have Johnny Cage do the cool action scenes with a younger actor, is with the green glow Arcana. Or I can see them doing also how, I think it was an MKX, where Johnny has the stunt double variation where he's like shoots out kind of like Green Lantern like constructs of himself. Maybe that could be kind of sick to see in the movie. Carl just sits there or like makes jokes, and then like a green energy comes out of himself, and then that can do the fights. It's a little crazy, but those are just some ideas that I have that I could see them doing in the Mortal Kombat sequel with Karl as Johnny Cage. So to wrap up this long video, Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, I'm excited. All right, I'm excited to see my favorite character show up on the big screen, and I love Karl as an actor. Like I've said many times throughout this video, it's true. Karl's the man, and Johnny Cage is the man. Sure, Karl was a little bit older than a lot of the cast for the Mortal Kombat movie, but I feel like WB and the casting directors have something in mind to make this casting choice. I'm sure they all know that Karl is a lot older than the other cast members. So there has to be some type of story, right? Going into this. Don't just bring in Johnny Cage and then kill him off, because I will walk out of the theater. I will walk out of the theater. We do not need another Mortal Kombat Annihilations, okay? Don't start off the sequel, have Karl as Johnny Cage, and then die. I will be so angry. I know a lot of people are not happy about this casting. All I'm gonna say is Heath Ledger, Joker. Let's wait until we see the performance of Karl as Johnny to make the final verdict of, you know, if it's bad or good. Because I have faith. I do have faith. Please, Johnny, do not suck. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this long video of me gushing and talking about the Johnny Cage casting. You guys probably expected this. Come on, it's Johnny Cage. I had to talk about this. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. Let's try to be civil here, okay? Don't be like, Cage, you're stupid. The Miz is the man to play Johnny Cage. Listen, if you want the Miz to play Johnny Cage, I'm happy for you, all right? Cool. Everyone has their own fan favorite casting for the characters. The Miz just isn't mine, all right? Again, I don't hate the Miz as a person. I just hate the Miz persona. Growing up, I just didn't like him as a wrestler. I don't want him to play Johnny Cage. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, drop a huge thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts. What do you guys think about this casting? Are you guys optimistic? Are you guys still need to see some action? Are you guys worried? Let me know down below. If you guys don't want to miss out on any more Mortal Kombat news regarding the movies, the new video game coming out soon, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell icon so you guys get notified every time we do upload a brand new video. Mine's unCAGEDgamez, and you just got caged. You better say that in the movie.
Thank you, Mortal Kombat fans.
That's the man!
Amazing support.
Let's go!
We're not quite done yet.
This is it. This is the teaser. This is the teaser trailer.